Hello, and welcome back to Coin Lady channel. The CEO of Ripple has reiterated their intention to back candidates who are pro-crypto. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse has stated again that his firm will financially support crypto-friendly candidates in the U.S. midterm elections of 2024. An important step forward in the continuing campaign by crypto ecosystem heavy hitters to sponsor legislators who can bring about sensible regulation in the nation has been the post by Brad Garlinghouse published on Next. Personalized funding, such as that associated with FTX founder Sam Bankman, has been a source of support for certain crypto leaders in past election cycles. A societal and regulatory backlash ensued as a result of fraud. Joined by other prominent figures in the business, Team Ripple is making a strong statement. They will be supporting candidates in the 2024 U.S. election cycle who are pro-innovation and pro-crypto. The United States of America can no longer afford to play second fiddle on the international scene. The United States is being led astray by the SEC's regulatory overreach, and other nations are capitalizing on this vacuum in leadership. We must promote future leaders who will be the vanguard of appropriate regulation and the defenders of new ideas. The year 2024 is perfect for returning to basics by supporting programs that foster openness, creativity, and a focus on compliance. I will not let Team Ripple waste it. Crypto companies' investors pour $78 million into super PACs, wrote Garlinghouse in reaction to Politico's tweet. An increasingly open alliance of influential business leaders has formed with the shared objective of rescuing the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, NASA, and the blockchain world mission from regulatory overreach. To keep the U.S. from playing second fiddle on the world stage, the urge to unite with a financial incentive is essential, says Brad Garlinghouse. The speaker stressed the urgency of addressing the SEC's regulatory overreach, which he said is leading the United States in the wrong path. The SEC, in particular, has had a very eventful year. Kraken was the first target of the regulator's enforcement action earlier this year after the company was accused of marketing its staking service as an unregistered securities. Even after reaching a $30 million settlement, the commission headed by Gary Gensler went on and sued the trading platform again a few weeks ago. This year has also seen a ramping up of the agencies and Ripple's lawsuit. While the case is coming to a close, there have been mixed results for both parties. While Chris Larson and Garlinghouse, two executives of Ripple's, have been cleared of any misconduct. Selling XRP to institutional investors as a security was deemed criminal by the court. In the middle of all this, Garlinghouse is of the belief that the crypto ecosystem is in dire need of new leaders who would promote appropriate regulation through innovative means rather than through lobbying. Politico reports that the total money raised for the crypto political campaign bankrolling push has surpassed $78 million. Keep in mind that this is different from the lobbying that certain cryptocurrency companies have been doing for a while. Coinbase and Ripple Labs, two of the largest cryptocurrency companies in the world, reportedly spend millions of dollars annually lobbying lawmakers in Washington, D.C. to support certain cryptocurrency topics. He issued a rallying cry from Garlinghouse, declaring that 2024 is the year to return to fundamental ideals through the promotion of openness, creativity, and a focus on compliance. As a political move in the realm of cryptocurrency policy and regulation, I perceive Brad Garland's promise to support crypto-friendly candidates in the 2024 U.S. presidential election. In the lead-up to a major conflict, it's like a season of general fortification, being cognizant of the fact that the result will have far-reaching consequences. The crypto business is reaching a turning point with the arrival of Garlinghouse's. The industry has long neglected the equally important component of regulatory engagement in favor of concentrating on technology advancement and expanding into new markets. This shows that Ripple and other industry heavyweights understand the value of being politically active. It's not unlike from how early internet companies came to understand the importance of interacting with Washington in order to influence the changing digital world. The industry's future is dependent on both technological progress and the regulatory climate, which is why pro-innovation and pro-crypto candidates are receiving more funding. Due to regulatory uncertainties and strict laws, the US runs the risk of slipping behind in the present geopolitical atmosphere where digital currency and blockchain technologies are gaining worldwide popularity. This is particularly true from organizations like the Second. It's as if the United States is competing in a high-tech race while other nations are charging ahead unfettered by superfluous restrictions. Freedom from taking a back seat on the global stage is a fitting analogy for the current scenario, as pointed out by Garland House. At a crossroads, the United States, long seen as an innovator, must decide whether to take the lead in crypto legislation or fall into the role of a follower. Creating a favorable business environment is simply one of the many goals of promoting leaders who will support innovation and responsible regulation. The goal is to stay ahead of the competition in a digital environment that is changing at a rapid pace. It is vital to note that this kind of political funding is distinct from more conventional forms of lobbying. As a whole, the regulatory or legislative goals of crypto companies' lobbying efforts are somewhat narrow. As an alternative, funding political candidates is a more systemic tactic for influencing policymaking generally. It's like the disparity between tending to a garden with only one tree and a whole forest. Nevertheless, there are concerns and objections associated with this technique. Personalized funding in past campaigns, as that associated with Sam Bankman-Fried, casts a long shadow and brings to light the possibility of societal and regulatory pushback. It's a fine line to walk between being actively involved in politics and coming across as trying to purchase influence. Finally, the crypto industry's perspective on policy and regulation has changed dramatically due to the Garland Homes project. It's a recognition that Congress and courts will play just as big of a role as tech laboratories and trading platforms in determining the future of crypto in the US and around the world. As the industry progresses, its involvement in politics will play a vital role in creating a regulatory climate that encourages innovation while maintaining a healthy balance. We can go on to the market summary now without a hitch. First, we'll look at Bitcoin. I predicted that this upward trend will continue in yesterday's video. Yes, it did. I even got a few joyful bucks in my pockets and all that, but not before Bitcoin reversed course from the upper imbalance and liquidity boundary and fell back down to test the support level at 41,927. Its power was insufficient to correct its imbalance and return to 44,000. So it's a zigzag pattern going from levels of support to levels of imbalance and back again. Impressively, dominance has increased to 53.6% on the next impulse, suggesting that normal growth is possible after all. The decline of all altcoins is expected. Now let's examine XRP in a similar light. The impulse that followed Bitcoin's price collapsed after failing to consolidate above the 0.6117 mark. Currently, Ripple offers little in the way of analysis. All it does is fluctuate in tandem with Bitcoin. Something will happen once Bitcoin gets a strong impulse, the top imbalance is resolved, and dominance declines. That's the most I can say at this time. As usual, I will provide an update tomorrow. Please do not get caught up in the euphoria and expect everything to fall into place flawlessly. Please like and subscribe my channel. See you later, bye.